Hello everybody, my name is Chris and you're watching the Crazy Volucris. And today we are playing The Thinning Whale, Cormac Mac Airt on the Other Side of Midnight. A game by Paul Rose, published by Triskelion Games. Scenario 3. The Shadow Within. Descending the stairs beneath the crypt, the boy found himself in an ancient tunnel, stretching beneath the hillside he'd earlier climbed in his desperate flight from his captors. Breathing stagnant air, he trucked through the dank earth, which had spilled in rocks cracks forced into the rocky ceiling by tangled roots, stretching deep for sustenance. After a long time stumbling through the dark, with only the rough walls as a guide, the boy cried out in dismay. The lintel above the exit had collapsed, and huge chunks of stone lay obstructing his path. Yet, with tensity and sheer determination, the young boy hauled stone by stone out of the way. Eventually, he was able to squeeze his body out of the gap he'd forked with his bare hands. Finally, he was free and able to breathe in the fresh air of the forest beyond the rise. Ever fearful of the enemy and wishing to never feel the weight of chains upon him again, Cormac wasted no time. He picked a direction he assumed was north, which he judged by observation of the growth on trees, and ran. Hunger and tiredness eventually took their toll, and he sank into a hollow in a ditch, which may have once been the den of an animal, was long vacant. He slept fitfully, exhausted, but he dreamed of crowns and glory, and of kingdoms coming together, working as one. He dreamed the dream of the High King of Inis Fael. Through the next day, the youth pushed on relentlessly, until he emerged from the forest into wild grasslands, stretching toward hills and a distant lake. Then, as the sun was highest in the skies, he thought he saw signs of pursuit in his wake. With a furrowed brow and a groan of disbelief, he doubled his speed and paused only to eat wild berries and roots he knew to be edible. His stomach at first protested, but soon he was invigorated, and with that came fresh purpose. As the light in the sky dwindled, Cormac found himself heading toward a collection of standing stones in a strange formation upon the crest of a hill. It would be nightfall ere he reached them, but perhaps these mysterious sentinel stones he might find shelter and a vantage point. When the young boy finally stood among the giant pillars in the earth which dwarfed him, he turned to look back upon the way he had traveled. Distantly, he half fancied he could see movement, black specks in a twilight world pursuing him. He swung the king's blade in arcs about his body in defense, as if daring these dodged slavers to come closer than they might taste his wrath. With each motion came confidence and a sense of power and destiny. The night settles like a cold cloaked doom over the standing stones. The grim faces carved into the stone surfaces down at you full of forlorn and stern enmity. You feel the chill of the gaze in your bones, and you shudder as mists rise up and coil about the slopes, gradually close in. At length these mists obscure all the eerie sounds you heard from beyond the veil of their presence. You hear unsettling words, as an effigy of the undead king appears on the edge of the vision. You are unworthy of that sword, boy. You take to flight like a frightened colt at first sign of danger. Give me back my king's blade. The command sends a shiver down your spine, as the raspy voice seemed to originate from everywhere at once. There is such contempt and disdain in the tone of the Death King. You clutch the sword all and tighter for a moment, but the chilling words repeat inside your head instead of fading away. Perhaps the sword was not meant for you, after all, and you'd better get rid of it. Doubt gnaws at you. Now we have to perform a will 3 test, or take 1 will or 1 faith damage per fails, as the voice will not relent and continues to hound you for long moments. If you lay down the sword, read Revelation 4.7. If you instead deafly the spirit, read Revelation 4.8. So first of all, we make a will test. So we got will 5. And we got 3 successes. Very good. And I don't think we will give back this sword. So we have to read Revelation 4.8. You scream defiance of the undead king. I earned the sword. I passed your test. And you are no more a spectre of the past. I am the future. You brandished the blade and cut the air about you with its on edge. Roll a handful of dice, but before you do so, you may spend 1 will or 1 faith if you wish to have a chance of inflicting a critical hit. If you roll a class result in the attack, place a blue die on your dashboard, set double the number of successes rolled, and dial down each time the Undead King would receive an activation. Your display of disbelief and bravery has held him at bay. Alright, so I will spend a will, going down to 4, and see if I can make a critical with a class. So that's 3 hits, and here we got the class. So I can prevent 6 activation from the Undead King. This is quite good. Right, so there are always a lot of special rules. So we don't have any falling blocks in the outside, so I removed the 2 traps from the deck. I have to roll my actions. I have to fight, to interact, 1 class and 1 enemy. So there is no enemy, so there is no thing to do. And then I will take a class action to go over here, and I'll find the graveyard. So I have to roll 2 faith dice to see what's over there. And I've got a fight and interact. A fight would be activate Frost Beast or Undead King, so we don't have the Undead King yet on the board. The class would the things would be a trap, so I would re-roll this one. Oh, it's still a trap. Okay. So we got a trap over here. And when we spawn the first time, when we enter the first time a new tile, then we spawn the Marabou Footman, which is the Undead King, so he spawns over there. So the graveyard. The night shrouds the land like a cloud of shadows, trapped over all, and the midst obscure the way. You stumble through long grasses and screeching mud, sensing evil in every direction. Around you, jutting out of the earth like broken teeth, in a crooked line, are megalith grave markers, and about their bases lie currents. The stones have been shifted and are in disarray. A terrible wrath-like creature forms in the vapors before you and is reaching for you with a malign light in its eyes. I have no choice but to slay trespassers here, boy, and there is no passage for unworthy. Once I protected a shrine from grave robbers and dark spirits who might steal the wealth from this place. Now I am beholden to the dark spirit which robbed it. Camlin is lost, its coat of arms sundered, and with that its powers broken. Flee from this forsaken place, boy, before mine will fail and I strike thee. Spawn a Hangbin in the graveyard to represent the spectral knight. For now he is bound. So we got the guy. So for now he's bound, which means some enemies in this game never leave the tile on which they are spawned. These are described as bound. Bound enemies are never activated in the enemy phase. All enemy phase activations are assigned to non-bound enemies and the furthest away. Okay, so I could flee just from this tile. But when I do anything else but disarming the trap will go off. And traps can be really nasty, so I will use an interact to search the trap. The trap concealment is 3, so I need 3 successes to find this trap. And oh yeah, I've got 3. Very good. So I found this trap. I will just mark it that I found it. So I will use another interact and I will search the graveyard. And search is 3 unless hero spends a class in addition. I don't have a class. Alright, so it's also a 3. I'm rolling a hand full of dice and need 3 successes. Got 4. 4 successes, okay. So I can take a treasure, which is discard to restore 1 health and a remove bleed condition. Oh, this is nice. After that I have to read Revelation 4:17. Buried in the stones of the cairn you espy something shiny like a deep dark ruby. Drawing it forth you see in your hand a large bloodstone which pulls this inner life and is warm on the touch. The knight in your midst fighting to hold on to will and sanity speaks to you. Ah, bloodstone of Camlin, give of your life to save life, and the stone shall ensure your strike true. Take the bloodstone card from the Shadow Within deck. Spend a health to make an attack inflict critical hits once per game. The bloodstone must be fixed to a weapon and is destroyed if the weapon is destroyed. Alright, so this is cool. So this is the... Well, yeah, of course I will spend a life. And I will attach it to the longsword, because the longsword... Oh wait, no, not yet. I have to spend it while striking. It's a small item if not attached to it. Okay, so I attach it to the longsword, which is quite good. Alright, so the next I will spend combat to go over here. Then I have to roll the fate dice. This is a fight and a class. Well, the fight will activate the king, but I can prevent this. Oh wait, I have to... Oh, I can re-roll it. First I can re-roll it. Oh, this is a trap. Well, yeah. So I'll like this. Then I have the trap. And a chest. I guess the... Oh no, this is a grave. this is just represented by a treasure chest. So this is a grave and this is a trap. So we're just entering the swamp, seeking to escape the revenant stalking you. You wander the mists and descend the hillside into a cold lowland bog. You begin to wend your way across mud banks, trying to avoid pools of stagnant water and whatever may lie hidden in the fit-smelling bogs. Perform a test 2 when leaving this tile. With a class result as success, collect 1 leech token per fail. If you collect a leech token, read Revelation 4:11. A hero can never have more than 2 leech tokens. Place 1 treasure chest on this tile to represent a grave in addition to any generated by the fate roll. If you open the grave on this tile after collecting the reward, read 4:19. These are graves. I can open them just like traps, just like chests. Alright, so I still got 1 combat left, but I can't do anything, so I will bank the combat for now, and then the round is over. Oh no, it's not over now, it's the enemy phase. Alright, so we got the undead king. He wants to activate, but we can prevent it by dialing down 1 pip over here. That's it. We don't have to do, don't have any upkeep, so right now we are in round 2 and I can roll my dice. Oh, there's a 4 interact, 1 combat and 1 yeah, I forgot I haven't done this. So I've got rolled 1 combat, 4 interact and 1 class. Very good. Alright, so I would use an interact to search the trap, and I spend a class as well to lower it to difficulty 2. Wasn't it like this? Oh, this is while searching. Is it possible for the trap? No, the trap concealment don't have this ability. So I just looking for the trap. And I only got 2 successes, so this is a fail. Come on. I just searching the tile. Oh, I searched this tile as well now. I have to. Which I got. But of course I will trigger the trap. But I also found a treasure. So a trap. It's a dot. Something clicks but nothing happens. If this trap was ever present, it seems that its despair no longer poses a threat. So this trap is nothing. This is good. Treasure. Ah, I can discard this to get 1 health. Well, I just remove 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can keep on. This is my 5th object. So right now I got 2 mosses. The scroll case counts as 1. So it's the 3rd. Torch and the Kingslayer. The King's Blade. So alright. So then I use an interact to open one of the graves. So they got a lock quality of 2. Oh, this is plenty. So I got it. But I have to do additional. Then these represent the graves of fallen warriors. Perform a will to test or lose faith for each failed thing. So a will to. I got will of 4. I got 2 successes. Very good. What's inside the grave? Treasure 2 times. So I've got a cinder conch and a torch. So right now I have too much, so I will definitely use one of the moss to heal one wound. Ah, come on, I'll take both. So I'm back to 6 health. Then I can keep both. So I have 2 torches and a cinder conch, scroll case, and a dark blade. Okay, then I have to read Revelation 4:19. Place a spiral stair in the swamp and set the crypt to one side. You may descend the stairs at the cost of any action to access the crypt. As you explore the swamp, you find a stone sarcophagus, part submerged in the mere. As you approach it through the mists and open it, you discover it's not one tomb, but masks an entrance to a mausoleum. Strange energies suffuse the threshold, but what might lie in the depths of the sunken tomb beneath the swamp? If you access the crypt, read Revelation 4:20. So, I'm not pretty sure. I just had here south. I'm not heading down to the crypt. Not yet. Maybe later, but I don't think this will be healthy. So, and this is the last tile we got. First of all, I want to explore everything. But before leaving this tile, I have to do a test. So roll a handful of dice, and the class symbol is a success, and I need 2 successes. So I got 2 successes, and I'm safe. So while entering, so I'll take the interact. So while entering, I have to roll the fate die. Oh, oops. So there's a class and a fight, which means activate, and there's a treasure chest. So I keep the treasure chest, so the grave, and I will activate him, but I can stop him. Out of the mists before you, there's a ravine coming into view. The sight of its depth is denied you, for the banks are steep and muddy, lost in a midnight blue shade. The tendrils of coal-scent mists disguise craggy outcrops of rock and tangled roots of trees, clinging on for a vestige of life here in the darkness. It as though a rotten army marches down the steep inclines, emaciated limbs reaching out into the wretched and stench-ridden air for answers they can never grasp. These eddying mists below your coil and look like a stream of exalted vapor caught in the glow of moonlight. You look skyward, and there is the moon, now seeming full in the ether and almost spectral itself. A creaking sound comes to you. There's a rope bridge spanning the ravine, and now you are aware of it. You approach the ancient timber spanning the expanse. The dunk boards of the wooden planking look slick with strange growth and wet with moisture in the air. The night is disturbed by a voice as a haggard old woman in grey with skin that looks like it fits too tight, barely covering bone, blocks passage over the bridge. "Get you gone, boy, lest you incur my wrath. None may cross the bridge over my dead body. I'm under guest to curse any who may attempt it. And worse, this old witch is not beyond murder. In these long nights I revel in it. The blood makes me feel alive. You do not want to make me feel alive, boy?" The dark warning seems to hide a sullen truth as the full threat of this ancient crone forms through the mist. You realize she may well be undead. So spawn a blight hag at the rope bridge. This enemy never leaves this tile, for the blight hag is bound. Here we got the blight hag. She's on the side of the bridge. So I got different options. I can spend an interact or a class action to push past the witch attempting to catch her off guard, as you'd aim to dash across the bridge. Then, you spend a fight to attack the witch, or alternatively you can spend any action to ask a witch why she does this and how she came to be under gas. And I think I will just talk to her with my last action. This is what I'm doing. Well, that's an easy question to answer, though it be none of your business, boy. The witch hisses, drawing back and readying her clawed hands as she brandishes her long, talon-like nails. Then a look of profound confusion furrows the leathery brow of her ashen features. But it escaped me. Her confusion deepens. If I could but remember the first thing after all the many things that I have forgotten, I am certain I would have the answer. Her voice softens and she sounds lost, groping at blind spots in her mind. My memory are like open grave, she stammers. The corpse wealth walking, the mist seldom seen, I stare into empty pits for clues as to what once lay there. She glowers at you, seemingly deciding it is your fault somehow. You're trying to trick me, and it won't work. She seethes with bitter envy, and next she turns violent. In releasing, the witch is vulnerable and not entirely lost to her former human self. We take some solace, even as the hag becomes aggressive. Restore one faith, will, or might. Metal. I will restore the will. The witch has the keyword incorporeal, so any successes in attacks which must be re-rolled. The witch is a poltergeist and her mortal remains must be somehow in the boggy lands about the hill, perhaps even in a ravine below the bridge. Whatever the case, something keeps her unharmed in the land of the living, and her wrath is great. The witch never leaves the bridge and is bound to the tile. If you defeat the witch in combat, read Revelations 4:15. You cannot otherwise cross the rope bridge. So then this is the end of the round. The enemy phase. So he will activate, but we prevent this and she will attack. Withering Glare. I have to perform a Metal 3 test. So I've got Metal 5. And I got 4 successes, so I passed it, so I will not be stunned. Alright, so then, any upkeeps? We don't have any upkeeps, so we go to round number 3. And I roll my dice. So I got 3 fight dice, enemy activation, a class, 3 fight, and an interact. So first of all, I have to activate the hag. She's doing a fight, which means corrupted claws. Roll 3 action dice, deal 1 damage per fight symbol and 1 corruption per enemy. Ooh. She's nasty. Oh, so this is 1 damage. That's it. And I've got a shield, so I take no damage. Then I activate and I will attack. I've got Might 4. So that's 2 successes. I have to re-roll because she's incorporeal. So that's 1 success. I don't have to do any break test because this is standard. I needed 2. So I've got 1 damage plus 3 from the sword is 4. And I will spend health to make it a critical, so that's 4, that's 8. She reduces by 1, so that's 7, so she's killed. And I've earning 1 soul. The incorporeal form of the witch falls as through physical stricken to the cold earth. Then after a brief moment she gasps and breathes again, her from rising, face full of sorrow. Death again denied me, no. She wails like a child in distress. And now I recall, as through pierced not with blade but with truth. He refuses to let me go. Her recoil seeing the witch gathering herself and being distrustful. Who? Who is he who refuses you? You demand to know. I am to die, none other shall have thee. That is what he said. I would have given anything to perish, but I could not accept the gift with our daughter to protect. The witch leaves you confused as she seems lost and overcome with grief and ill memory. His shadow is upon thee as it remains upon me. The darkness of him looms over all my presence. The ghost of the witch seems in tears. Is it possible for a ghost to cry? He was an old and vulgar when he claimed me, for my father gave me to him, without love in his heart, for more than his precious kingdom. The wild tyrant took my life, but caged my soul. Sympathy stirs up with, but also you cannot help to judge the man who would do such to his own daughter. Your father gave you away to an old man who both killed you and yet also refused to let you die? You ask, unable to comprehend the threads of her tale, which seem to contradict it. I could never do such a daughter of mine, you find yourself blurting out. The witch looks at you wide-eyed, and as thought shocked to hear it. Oh, do not be so quick to presume your own mind, Cormac Mac Airt. Our deeds often are mysterious to the thoughts which precede them. We imagine ourselves so often more heroic and ideal than we turn out to be in our darker realities. You shift uncomfortably, recognizing some strange potent might lie bound in her words. A cage grotesque waiting to escape, best left in its chains. Some things are not for mortal minds to know. Let me cross the bridge, you say, hoping for acquiescence. As I cannot, and you must slay me again, or liberate my soul of his land, or this land of my soul. I forgot which was the greater curse. Be swift in your choice. His influence grows, my mind clouds once more. Place a die set to 3 on the rope bridge tile to track this dialing down in the upkeep phase. When this cooldown is over, the blind hag prevents passage across the rope bridge once again and must be slain once more. I am Sawbone, child. My earthly remains are caged in a magical box, locked thrice, and buried beneath the waters. She gestures, turning to indicate the ravine. Down there in the mists, my spirit is his slave until such time as the box is opened or he dies. You nod with grim understanding. If you say, something in fighting on evil, you defeat another, spend any action to cross the bridge. Place the large garden tile and the cauldron in the middle of it, and read the garden event tile entry. You are determined to slay the evil who would cage this woman and break the spell by doing so. If instead you say, I understand, Lady of Mists, how do I get down to the ravine? With the intent to finding the box and breaking it open, go to Revelation 4:21. So I've decided to fight the evil, so I spent a class to go over the bridge and I will put out the garden tile. So I had to spawn 3 marabou footmen, but I've got only 3, so for the king I take this one, the standee. In between. So, place the cauldron in the middle of the garden, spawn 3 marabou footmen. Here we go. Just found the cauldron. I guess this is the cauldron. Okay. 9 entwined plumes of misty vapor extend forth from the blubbering cauldron in the midst of the eldritch garden. With the cauldron stench, offal and gore seems almost to refuse to cook on a flame
imperishable,
wrought of fiery wispy maidens beneath the great pot. Test 5 using will, metal and faith combined. That's the first combined skill roll. So okay, we start with will. I got 5. And I got 3 successes already. So I mark this with here. I got 3 successes already. Then faith, I got only 3. Got 2, so I already got 5. If you pass, there's a beating heart in the midst of the smoking flames, which burst forth from the broth in the cauldron. Otherworldly voices urge you to bite into the heart, and lost in a dream, you do so until you taste blood in your mouth. The taste and sudden pain brings you to the senses, and the cauldron, wrapped in coiled plums of mist, gives forth no more flame, nor do fire wisp linger beneath. The mists about you in the gardens grow colder. Test health. If you ate the heart, for each success gain 2 in the attribute of your choosing. Test health. So I got 5. And I had 4 successes, which means 1 I am, and health 6. I am full up. 4, 5, 5, 4, 6. I'm fully healed. Nothing of nature seems quite right in this forsaken place, and the moon itself seems large in the sky and closer than you have ever seen him before. Distantly, the cries of night creatures raise your hackle, and there is something in the supernatural in the air which steers your blood. Out of the mists about you come forth skeletal warriors, clenching wicked spears. In horror you realize these are the Triskelion who have been tracking you. What has happened to them? Their features are sunken, their eyes look like black pits, their rotten flesh like stretched parchment over their brittle-looking bones. These footmen have only 6 health instead of 8. Okay, so I will spend 1 combat to attack the first one. And I have 4 might. And these are 2 successes. Plus 3 is 5. So 1 is down to 1 health. I get 5 damage. And then I attack again. That's way enough to kill the one. Gain 1 soul. Oh, I have right now 5 soul. I will keep them for re-rolling my dice. Maybe I need that. Yeah, and maybe I keep the interact. Who knows? Alright, so now the enemy phase. I have to check if the king is always activating. Here, the enemy phase states activate 1 enemy per hero furthest from the hero. So this will activate, but then I can just prevent his activation. This is a little bit... I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, but we will see. So this concludes the end. The hack dials down. So 2. And I can roll my action dice. Well, yeah, I will keep the interact, so I'm rolling only 5 dice. Oh no! Alright, so we got 3 fight, but also 2 enemy activations. So the first enemy, roll 4 action dice. Move 1 tile per dice, preserving fight dice. Result: jab. If starting at 0, what they do, attack once per fight and enemy adds critical to the last attack. Okay, so I roll 4. Okay, so I attack with a critical. Okay, so we attack with 2 dice and doing 1 damage, and this is, oh no, if I roll a critical alongside, so this is just 1 damage which I can block. So the next one, so he does 2 attacks. The first attack is a critical, so that's 2 damage, so that's really 1 damage. And the second attack is nothing. Okay, so I hope I did it. So I'm not pretty sure, but you know, roll 4 dice, and for each attack symbol, I roll 2 action dice to do so. When I start there, attack once per combat, and enemy adds critical to the last attack. Oh yeah, and we are in round 4 right now, no? So I attack, 4 damage, 4 dice. So that's only 1, and plus 3 is 4. They got a shield of 1, so 3 damage. So this one got 3 damage, and then I attack the same one again. That's another 3 damage. Also 1 damage plus 3 from my sword. Oh, it's 4 minus 1 for the shield is 3, and they got only 6 health, so this one is killed as well. And I got another soul. So right now I got 6 souls. And with my last combat I attack the other one. So that's 5, so that's 4 damage. But he's still alive. I bank the interact. So end of the round, the enemy who's furthest will activate. He can't. So I dial this down to 1 to prevent it. That's it. Then we are in round 5. I roll my actions, but only 5 dice. I keep the interact. So this was off screen. So I got 3 fight, 1 class, and another interact. So, okay. Luckily no enemy. So I attack. So got only 1, so that's 3 more damage, but this will kill the footman as well, and I get another soul. So after I defeated the footman, I can enter this tile for any action, which I will do with the class action. And then I read what's all about. Through the eerie mist you espy the shadow-haunted entrance to an ancient dolmen. The supports of this stone edifice are crumbling, but for now they are holding. There is an eldritch glow coming from the burial mound. The strange mists about you seem almost to be drawn into the mouth of the dolmen, vanishing into this darkness. It is as though they retreat from you into that place. If you generate an activation for your nemesis when you enter the dolmen tile, you may first spend any action to make an attack against this incorporeal enemy. If you inflict 1 damage, the enemy will not attack you. You must reroll successes and only subsequent successes are hits. However, unless you have a means to ignore incorporeal and use it, if you strike the enemy, then the vapors making up their form collapse into themselves and roll away like the receding fog. After resolving this and any subsequent enemy attack, read on. So, yeah, I just found out the nemesis is the dead king, but he isn't here in the tile, so I don't have to do anything. Furthermore, a burst of purifying flame erupts from the side spiral before the dolmen entrance. This blue fire sears your vision. Test 6 plus 1 per corruption. So I have no corruption, so test 6, reduce the difficulty of the test by 1 per each will or faith or metal you spend. If you pass the test, clear your corruption. If you fail the test, take 1 damage in health and metal per fail plus 1 corruption. Then clear your corruption. If you go into Twilight and you already have spent your sprig of Arcasia, you black out in dream. Okay, so well, let's do the test, and I will spend. So I spent 2 faith, 1 will, or 2 will. So I lower it by 4, so I only have to have 2 successes. Which I had already got. So no damage. And no corruption. Well, I spent an interact to search. And luckily I got 3. So then I can draw a treasure. Oh, once again. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 6. So I use it right away to heal 1 health. So when I understand this right, when I enter this tile and survive this kind of explosion, I enter the dolmen. So then the shadow within level 2. The Cave of Fear. The voice that was haunted you through the mist sounds again and is close, but seems different somehow. Perhaps even a little fearful, or maybe respectful. So you think yourself worthy, Cormac Mac Airt, but the mists will choke you, or will wander lost in them for eternity, unless you enter this place, my domain. You have by some trickery cleansed yourself of taint, but if you have the blood of kings, there's always the threat of corruption. I can taste your fear, boy. If you wish to prove yourself a man, you must face it. Heroes don't run from their demons, like frightened children. Come to me if you dare. The cave you fear hides the treasure you seek. Remove the undead king from play, your true adversary resides elsewhere. You boldly challenge this evil spirit that somehow lives on beyond the grave. This blade is mine, foul spirit, but be ready. I'm going to give it to you in a way that ends you forever, so that you may ruin no more lives. Gain a soul to place on the king's blade. This soul may only be spent to activate the power of the sword. Alright, so 1 soul for the blade. So, I've got a new updated objective. Enter the dolmen and destroy the evil spirit. I got 6, 7 spirits. Maybe it's time to learn sword mastery. I think I will learn sword mastery though. That's 5. So I got still 2 souls. Now I got sword mastery. Now class also counts as a hit. So now I got a 50% chance per die for a hit. This is very good. Okay, and I will use interact to go to the next tile. And I have to check the fate roll. So there is another fate table, so I guess I have to roll the fate dice. Which I will do. And I got a sword and enemy. A sword will be a blight red and an enemy is dark whispers. If all dark whispers are exhausted, increase the blue dice on the twilight card by 1. Ah, yeah, I found it. You have to have all rules so in this scenario, each time you lose a will or faith or gain corruption, track the amount using blue dice placed above the top section of the twilight card, dialing up. This is in addition to maintaining the current levels of your dashboard. So I did a really quick scan of the so far recorded material, and I am right, so this is actually 5. Right now this will... And the blight red, I will re-roll the red. Oh, and it's still a red. So then I spent a combat to attack. I got might 4. So those are 2 hits. This is new. So 2 hits. Plus 3 from the sword is 5. She got no shield, so she got 5 damage. Then I spent another combat. This time I got 2 plus 3 is 5. So that's 10 damage, so the red is killed. And I get another soul. So we are here at 3 souls. And I still got 1 interact, and I will search the tile. And I got only 1 success. So I find nothing. This is the end of the turn. So what happens in the enemy phase? Is there a special one? I just roll a die, because I searched 1 new tile, and if it's an enemy, I hear Malgan energies, and it is. So I have to take will. No, this is a metal test. So 5 die, and I have to a metal 2. So I got only 1 result, so I get 1 damage. 1 attribute damage, and I can choose which one, and I will take metal. So that's the end of the round. I don't have to do any upgrades, downgrades or stuff like this. And then I will go to round number 6 and see what I got. Ooh. Oh my gosh, so that's 4 fight. I have nothing to fight. 1 class and 1 enemy. No enemy, nothing will happen. But at the end of the round there is a trigger round, so we will. So then I will use the class to check the next tile. Oh, and this is the tomb. At last you find the lair of the dark spirit. A shadow forms, road of black mist. It rises up and becomes a demon-like being, all thick tendrils of hate and pinprick eyes, glinting malice. Its body courses, a wraith of the primordial, becoming a shifting miasma of choking evil. Boss fight rules are now applied. The Shadow King has health equal to the blue dice set on the Twilight card. Use those dice to track the health of the Shadow King throughout the fight. I've been feeding on your fear and despair all along, boy. Now I shall take your life as well, intones the foreboding voice of the Shadow King. Place a Hubgin in the zone. 5 health. Yeah, the boss will always activate, and the health is 5, and by 2 heroes would be 10. The Shadow King, on each activation of the Shadow King, roll an action die. Okay, but I have still got 4 combat, and I will change to the King's Blade, because in the end fight I should use the King's Blade to do this. Oh, and there's another thing. It's not stated that the crypt is in darkness, so I'm not pretty sure if the crypt is in darkness or is it not. I just assume the crypt is lit. We use the first combat, and I've got still might 4, so 4 dice. And these are 2 hits. I have to re-roll them because he's incorporeal. And I rolled a class and a combat, and a class is also a hit. So now the big question, I got 2 hits. When do I have to spend the faith? So I spend 1 soul to inflict the critical hit. So I used this soul. So then I got 4 damage, 2 damage, 2 for the sword, and I do it critical, so that's 8 damage, which will kill the king in the crypt. Is it really that easy, or what? Or do I have too much luck? I'm not pretty sure. Maybe I did something wrong or forgot something. So please, if you got any input, you can put it down in the comments below, please. The Shadow King form begins to break down, the black gaze seeping away into the very rock of the burial mound into which you have entered. His former domain cleansed now of the shadow within. As the Shadow King ceases to be, the silence in this tomb is deafening for a moment. Then in the gloom you noticed a tall figure, regal in bearing, stern and antler-headed. The long robes of the mysterious giant, its head high just below the reach of the ceiling, rustle as it moves a few feet toward you and offers you a charnel key. Seeing your distrust, the being places the key down on the closed tomb of the Shadow King. The key sits there on the tomb, its curious skull, a beheaded grip, and gnarled teeth beckoning to you. You sense a presence and see here 3 figures. One is the witch from the bridge, the loom in your wake. You have broken the spell of the evil spirit, destroying the Shadow King. With that key you can go to the shrine and leave this place. Turn that key in the lock and the gate will appear. You can escape. The oddly quiet voice of the powerful looking beast before you intones. I've defeated the Shadow King, and I'm doing so I have achieved only what I must. I'm not so certain I wish to leave this place and go to some other world, some place of magic. I've heard that barrows such as this can be pathed to place beyond imagination and understanding. Elsewhere some call it the other side of midnight, say others. I have no wish to go there, only to rest safely. Seek any fellow survivors among my people. Your own voice sounds different to your ear, surrounding in this place, gaining a depth it did not possess before. The creature before you beckons to the Lady of the Mists, and the other behind you, and they walk slowly toward it. That is when you notice the crown of thorns upon the head of the towering antler-headed one. The Lady of the Mists laughs gently and with kindness as she looks at your confused face. The music of that laughter seems unnatural, though welcome in this place. Then the beast, for such it is, speaks once more. No, Cormac Mac Airt, it's not a key to the other world. Not unless you wish it, for there may be a path to the fairy realm through the gate, if you seek it long enough. A shimmering opalescent light opens behind the antler-headed being. The gate does not lead directly to the other world. No, no, no. It leads back to your own. Where you think you have been all this while? You're in my realm now, and you should not be. You're in the land of the dead, Cormac, and you have been for quite some time. I will escort these once lost souls to the halls of Arl. Through you may have earned some call me Sir Nunos. This is not in truth the domain of the Shadow King, no matter what that wretched spirit thought. Eventually we'll meet again, Cormac Mac Airt, but there is much for you to do first, a life to live. Go now. Next the Lady of the Mists speak. We have been trapped on the boundary prison of the Shadow King. When he claimed you unfit for his sword, he may have been playing a role, but that sword was his once, before it became the possession of the king in the crypt. Now it is yours. There's a lesson in this comic. Even kings become dust in the end. Even kings can be corrupted and become things of shadow. You have a choice though. You can rise above that fate and forge something of peace to last beyond your own years. Who knows truly what else you might be capable of achieving? Go now, with our love and thanks, for in our liberation you have given us the true gift. We can cross over now. We are with Arn. We can complete our journey. You are now free to begin yours. The Lady of the Mist takes the hand of the spectral knight at her side and the small girl to the other. The trinity fade from sight through the opalescence, escorted by the honored god. You have won the game, and it's time to leave the young Cormac as he crosses the threshold of the gate on to this next adventure. For you, the spring is over, and you have a meeting to come with Cormac in the winter of his years. We hope you have enjoyed these scenarios and continue to enjoy them over again. We'll see you on the other side of midnight. Well, this is the conclusion of the tutorials from the Young Cormac Mac Airt. I hope you enjoyed the ride, and if you do so, I really appreciate a like, a subscription, or even ring the bell to get noticed when I load up some more content. So thank you for watching. Bye.